So this video is for Topic 5 in Module 4. It's on making percent frequency histograms. In a separate video, I showed you how to do that by hand on graph paper. And this video will show you how to do this using Excel. So the materials you'll need to follow along with this are the workbook starting on page 66, and the data spreadsheet for the class, starting at the tree diameters tab. And in some previous videos, we added a distribution table to that spreadsheet. So the spreadsheet that's distributed at the beginning of the semester only contains the list of data, but we made a distribution table in a previous video, and in order to follow along with the steps that I'm going to demonstrate here, you would need that distribution table. So if you don't have that, the thing to do would be to go back to the previous videos and work in your spreadsheet to make the table. Okay. So what I've done is I've made a screen capture recording of a session with Excel and put that into a PowerPoint slideshow. So there are only 3 slides in this PowerPoint. The first one is about making a bar chart, which we don't need to cover because right now we're going to talk about the second topic, which is on making a frequency histogram. Percent frequency histogram. And let me make this full screen. And let's just let that play. So this screen capture video is going to show you how to make a percent frequency histogram in Excel. In a previous discussion, we had made the distribution table for the diameter of oak trees. And we had come to this point. I've listed here some steps, and these are also listed for you in Canvas for how to make this histogram, and I'm just going to demonstrate the steps here. So the first step is click on a blank cell outside the area of the table of numbers. If you click inside the table, Excel will try to guess what it is that you want to do, and it will always guess wrong. So I come over here to the Insert menu, and I'm going to use this chart here. I'll click on the little down arrow and pick the first one, the clustered column chart. I click that, and it makes a blank chart for me. I'm going to click the right-hand mouse button inside the blank area of the chart. On a Mac, there would be a menu item to get the context menu for the blank chart. But in the menu, you'll find Select Data. So I choose Select Data, and for the chart data range, that means the heights of the bars in the histogram, I'm going to select the percent frequencies because we're talking about a percent frequency histogram. If it was a frequency histogram, I would have selected the frequency column instead. So those are the heights of the bars on the y-axis, and then along the x-axis we need to edit these horizontal or category axis labels. So I click there on Edit, and I'm going to use the class marks so that it's marking each bar with the X value at the midpoint of the bar. I say OK. I'm done selecting source data, so I close that dialog. Here's my chart. We need to fix up the formatting just a little bit. I'm going to click the right-hand mouse button on one of these bars in the chart, and I'm going to select Format Data Series, and a dialog pops up that lets me set the overlap and the gap both to 0. Say enter. Use the little X to close the dialog. Now all I need to do is to fix up the title. I'm going to select the same title from over here on the table, distribution of diameters of oak trees. I copy that. Then I can come over here, triple click, paste it. That's my title. I'm still missing axis labels. I just click in the chart area and I click this plus to add chart elements. On a Mac, you click in the chart area and then there's a menu up at the top where you can add chart elements. So I want to add axis titles and data labels. The data labels are the numbers up at the top of each bar that tell you the exact percentage frequency, and the axis titles are where you label the X and Y axes. So the X-axis is the diameter. It's always the name of the variable, followed by the units of measurement in parentheses. And then for the vertical axis, that's the percent frequency. Followed by the units of measurement in parentheses. Now, we're essentially finished. If you wanted to make your title bold, you can format text the same way you do in other editing. You want to make sure that the numbers, the heights of the bars, should add up to 100, because the unit here is PCT, so you want it to add up to 100%. Sometimes people will have their numbers add up to 1, and that would be called a relative frequency histogram rather than a percent frequency histogram. The relative frequency histograms are discussed in your textbook also. But for now, I think we're done. So that's all for this video, and next time we'll be on to topic 6 on percent frequency density histograms. See you next time.